Hello listeners and welcome to our new podcast. Thanks to the listeners that listened to the previous ones and the persons who left a comment. As a reminder for the new ones, this is a project made by Curba de Cultură and co-financed by the Human Rights Fund by the Embassy of Netherlands in Romania. And this is a project created to raise awareness about domestic violence, gender stereotypes among the youngsters here in Romania. I'm Carla and this is Better Together. And today we have with us...
Hello, my name is Clem. Nice, I'm super happy to be on this podcast.
Nice. And from where are you, Clem?
I'm from France, on the north of France, in a city called Lille.
Nice. So today the topic that we chose is social media. But before starting talking about that, how do you would say that is the situation for women in your country?
I mean, for me in France, the situation for the women are pretty good. There is still like some gap between, of course, there is still some gap between women and men, but yeah, it's growing. There is like a more and more feminist thing, so the men are aware of the gap that they can exist in France between men and women. So let's say that is good. There is still like some process to make, some things that we can improve, of course, but the situation is quite good.
Okay, and what was the thing that shocked you the most when you arrived here in Romania?
I think that, when I arrived, so we are in a rural area, and the thing that shocked me the most is like, not really, it's like the mindset that the men have about the women. It's like, for me, it's like still, if we have to compare in France, the mindset is like the same that we had in France 60 years ago, you know? Like about that the woman cannot like work or have to stay at home, kinda. And yeah, it's like the things that I was like, okay, there's like a gap between France and Romania in this thingy.
Okay, for me, like one thing that was kind of shocking me, it was like seeing women splitting wood, because I was not used to that. But here in Romania, because like I've been here for almost 3 years, and I just saw men before doing that, and the first time that I saw a woman was like, wow, yes, cool.
Yeah, super nice. Yeah, it's true that in France, like we're not seeing, like the women are making like the garden and stuff like that, but splitting wood, it's true that I never saw like a woman making that in France, so yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah. Okay, so we start with the topic of today, social media. Which kind of profiles of social media do you follow?
A lot, like super different things. It's like about food, about like food star, also like tips that can help me, or what, I don't know, like sexual things, or like it's like really diverse things.
Okay, and do you follow any kind of profile related to feminism or women's rights or, I don't know, domestic violence, things like that?
Yeah, like I'm following a lot about feminism, because like for me it's like super important what is happening. Like for example, I have in mind like one account who is sharing what's happening on the world, and is sharing the things like, okay, that is right, that is wrong, but we can improve the things. So it's like giving the tips also that we can put in during like our life also. So yeah, I'm following this thing, and also like some influencer, let's say, that they are starting, they are not feminist, and after like they are starting to talk about it. And for me it's like super nice because like you can start to learn with them.
That's super nice. I'm also following the different profiles talking about feminism and women's rights, and I'm not close only to one of the branches of feminism, because like nowadays there's a lot of different ways and stuff of like thinking about feminism and put it in practice. And even though I'm following people who like are like the totally contrary of the other ones,
okay,
I'm just not unfollowing them, because I'm learning from both, and I'm just getting like the things that like for me are like the correct ones and that I really like. So it's just, I also follow a really diverse kind of pages like regarding this topic. Also, there's one super interesting that it's called feminism, only like that, and it's in English, and they are posting also things about all the world and stuff.
Yeah,
so it's super nice.
Yeah, and also like I'm following this kind of influencer, you know, that I mean, they are not saying that they are really like feminists, but they are showing like, for example, like how we have to trust or not the social media. So they are like showing how like sometimes the influencer can pose and they are seeing like really like the real body, and they are saying like, okay, that what you are seeing on the social media maybe is not the true, so you have to think about it and to process about it, and like like going out of this thing.
Yeah, it's all a process. For one hand, I think that social media is really good to make a speaker about these kind of situations and stuff, because it's like a way of reaching more people. But in the other hand, it's also like kind of bad, because everybody thinks and takes the right of commenting about everything, even though like I mean, obviously they have the right, but just measure your words when you are doing that, you know. There was an actress, I think, that she got like super hate, a lot of hate lately, like 2 or 3 days ago, because like she was wearing a dress and it was kind of transparent, and you could see her nipples and stuff.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So it was like a lot of hate towards her, and she made a post like super saying that I knew that I was going to receive a lot of hate, but I don't care because I love the dress, I love my body, and that's all. It's my body, it's my choice.
Yeah, totally.
And it was like super nice. And what do you think, what do you find more interesting about these kind of profiles?
For me, it's like, it's super interesting because in social media, as you said, we can find like horrible things, also like things that is not the reality. And thanks to this profile, they are they are spreading the reality also. So about the feminist one, about the influencer who are sharing that, okay, like the body that you can see in this page on like on the influencer, that it's like, well, like we like, I don't know, like without curves, like the perfect body is not sometimes the reality, isn't it? So for me, like, yeah, what I like the most is like the reality, and also it's like we're not really talking about that in the real life. So for me, when I'm following people who are talking about that, it's like, yeah, it's like they are teaching me how to react about some stuff, how to process also on myself, and yeah, for me it's like super nice. Like I'm using the social media, for me it's like it permits to me like to grow, kinda. Yeah. So yeah, it's like super useful for me.
You also follow like a lot of profiles regarding the same topic, but it's curious because in all of them they are saying like different things, and you can learn from all of them, even though like, for example, maybe they are talking about the same, but the way of saying the things or the way of showing them or explaining them are totally different. Yeah. So it's like different ways of learning, and it's like super nice.
Yeah, like for example, I'm following like one profile, like, so they are kind of on the same topic, but I have one in mind who is like drawing, and she's sharing the things about like the feminist stuff about the draw, you know. So for me it's like super nice because, okay, I'm 21, but if there is someone who is 14 and cannot like really understand, like, and don't want to read like the full text that someone is sharing, it's like the draw is like super catchy, you know. So for me it's like super nice that they are using this different types.
Nice. I love, for example, the tests. That when people are posting tests in the stories, like, okay, just prove your knowledge or whatever, or like, what do you know about this, or I don't know, when they are asking you for your opinion in order to make the next post and stuff, I just love to answer those tests and see the answers, like, oh yes.
Totally. I'm in also to this kind of stuff, super nice.
Yeah. So do you think that these kind of profiles are useful for youngsters?
Yeah, for me, like, and super nice also because, so I remember when I was, so the first account that I had when I went to Instagram the first time I was 15 maybe, and when I was 15 I needed this kind of profile. I didn't have, because like for me it started to grow about like feminism, like how to react about how to accept our body, like all the things that we can be like kind of sorry, I'm speaking about women because like for me like there is like a lot of pressure about women in the social media. So yeah, like it started like maybe 3 years ago to grow a little bit, and now I'm like super happy that like you can find this content in the social media, and for me yeah, it's like super useful to the youngsters. Like I mean everyone needs to read it, to know this kind of profile, of course.
The good thing about these profiles, at least for me, is that they are making like things like not neutral, because usually it's mostly the women that suffering some kind of situations and stuff, but it's just information towards the men, like they can learn from that and stuff. So it's like super nice, and everybody can just join those profiles and learn from that. It's not that, because as a reminder, feminism is just like the search for equality for both genders, and it's not just wanting to give to women the power and stuff. No, it's totally not like that. It's just us having the same rights and opportunities than men. And it's not us, only a woman, who has to change that or fight towards that. It's also men just helping us, like by your side.
Totally.
And even more and more, I'm just finding like profiles of men just supporting these kind of situations.
Yeah, super nice.
And it's super nice.
Yeah, totally. I agree. And it's like, I know that when I knew this kind of profile, like I have a little brother who is like 18, and I'm sharing with him like, okay, you should like if you don't want to follow, like okay, but just like take a look for know the things. And yeah, for me, I mean, there is like some profile who are more catchy like for girl, but there is like also a lot of profile who are like super catchy for both genders. So where you can like learn a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And do you miss any kind of information in those profiles?
I mean, for the moment, no. Maybe I will realize that at this time I missed something. Maybe in 3 years ago, if they are starting to talk about some stuff. But yeah, maybe I found something. But it's just like starting. Me, I missed like the profile who are speaking about the problem about the alimentation. You know, like all the trouble that you can have during. So anorexia, bulimia, and stuff like that. It's starting to they are starting to speak about that. But for me, like, I miss some information sometimes about that.
Yeah. Usually, like these topics are still like kind of not that popular. Let's not say popular, but people are not really speaking about that.
Totally.
It was the same about feminism like a few years ago. So
it's why
it will come.
Yeah.
There's one Spanish girl that she started making some short videos and stuff, faking that she was like in a center call and receiving people making comments like, yeah, you know, my girlfriend is fat and I want her to lose weight, and her just turning the conversation, you know, like, is your body? No. So why are you commenting on that? Are you still loving her? Are you sure? Because like with this comment, and it's like super nice, and feel like, I don't know, like not long ago she said that she had like this kind of problem. She had like anorexia and stuff, and she's super openly talking about that in her profile and stuff, because like she's a fat girl. And now, for example, I don't know in the rest of the countries, but in Spain there's like a huge thing now with fat phobia. Yeah. So there's a lot of people against that and talking about that, which is like super nice. Like, look, fat people exist, and it's not that they are fat because they are eating a lot, you know? Like maybe it's the constitution and that's all. And even though if they are fat because they are eating a lot, you are not anyone to make any comment about their body, because their body, their choice, and that's all.
Exactly. So yeah, it's like, for me, like it means this also like we like the society, let's say, we'll say that. Just know like the anorexia and the bulimia, but there is like so much other things that they are recognized, but the society don't know about this, because it's like
no one talks about that.
Yeah, no one is talking about that. And I know that during like when you are a youngster, when you are starting to be like a student or so, you can have this kind of problem, because, and also like on the both gender, and for me it would be like super nice to have like more profile who is like giving, I don't know, like talking about the symptoms that you can have, like, and putting the words on what you have also, because sometimes you are saying to yourself, okay, like maybe it's just on my mind, and you will not see a doctor. But if you have like one profile who is speaking about that, and even like you are not following, but when you are like scrolling the things you are appearing in one post, for me it's like super nice, and you can have more information, and after like having the process.
So we have here also in the sound table, we have Laura. Which kind of social media profiles do you follow?
I don't really know. I mostly follow technology profiles on YouTube and Instagram and Reddit.
Okay, and so you don't follow any profile related with the topic about feminism, women's rights, human rights, or things like that?
I don't follow, but the YouTube recommends me this kind of stuff, and sometimes I watch them.
Okay, and what do you think about them?
They are good source of information.
Okay, and you would like to follow one of these kind of profiles? I don't know, like maybe you miss some kind of information in your daily life or in your like social life regarding this topic?
Yeah, it will be useful.
So for the ones that are like loud, like thinking that would be useful and are willing to follow these kind of profiles, just read in the description of the video, because you will find some profiles there in English, also in Romanian, talking about the topic of women's rights, equality, some talking about domestic abuse and how you can recognize it and how you can work on that, and just follow them if you're interested, because like as I said before, feminism is something regarding both genders, not only women. And thanks Clem for being here today with us. Thanks Laura for being here in the sound table today. And as always, if you have any suggestion for what we can talk about in the next podcast, just leave it in the comments. And thanks for listening. Bye!
Bye!
Bye!